Here we are back with the 10th build installment of the Shopping Street by Lego Icons. This is set number 11371, contains 3,456 pieces, and the set was provided by the Lego Group for early review. Thank you, Lego. But it'd be nice if you'd tell me what the retail price of this set is, because I don't know. And yeah, this is what you see here. This is bags 1 through 19. Not too bad, so pretty much we got the first 2 levels done. We got the 3rd floor apartment done. So today we're going to focus on just this roof piece, which is going to cover or be covered in bags 20, 21, and 22. And I already have those all ready to go. So buckle up. We're going to be here for a very long time today. And this is essentially what we're going to be doing, just that. That doesn't seem all that bad, but with 3 bags, and let me move this out of the way here, and hopefully I don't drop it. These modulars are just kind of hard to pick up, you know, move out of the way here. But I'm just trying to gain some space in here. Hold on, I'm trying to not lose these minifigures, because all they want to do is fall down. And yeah, we're getting there. I'm getting there eventually. Let me make sure that the stuff's on mute, because I don't want to have the stinking ring thing go off, and then I'm dealing with that. Okay. Okay, let's begin. Let's build it, starting with bag 20. Long sleeves today. It's been cold and foggy. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm starting to get a little pooped of this set. I got 9 other sets I want to kind of dive into that are like a fraction of this. Really small sets that I could probably film 2 or 3 in a day, but this one's due first, and it's the biggest out of all of them. And I'm just kind of, now I'm starting to get a little exhausted of working on big stuff. And I hope Lego just sends me nothing but small sets throughout the year. It'd be nice. It's like, I like doing the big ones, but after a while it's just, you know, I gotta slow down a little bit here. And there we go. So it looks like now we're building the base of the roof here, and yeah, this is all I'm going to do. And I'm limited. I have about close to 2 hours of memory card space for between 2 or 3 memory cards, so I have to really kind of step on this one today. It's just, there's just so much. Lego needs to slow down on making sets. But really kind of, I don't know, I'm just not in the mood to build anything today. Right now I'm editing, I'm doing a tutorial. I am processing part 6, and I'm uploading parts 4 and 5, and I'm still proofing part 3, which is the music shop portion. I'm stuck doing all the horns and stuff of the, I guess what they call brass instruments. So yeah, I'm kind of getting tired of working on the set as a whole now. It's kind of I'm starting to get a little pooped on it here. At least I'm honest with you, though. Some of you've commented, Jay, how can you handle doing these big sets? I still don't even know how I can do it, but I do. At least we're messing with some bigger pieces. Like, that's a big piece. And I'm starting to get the Christmas woes because I'm stuck with a bunch of chores. I kind of thought about something to do for Christmas. My girlfriend was mentioning about a cabin. Why don't you guys stay in a cabin for Christmas? I thought that'd be fun. And so talked to my bunch about it, and they are not interested. So I just said, no. I guess we had that a coming. That was just I'm just thinking of some stuff to do. To bring a little bit of Christmas joy back with all the stuff going on, but you know. But we still got the Lego stuff here, which I got more than what I need. Okay, now it looks like we're building something here. This is probably the porch that takes us out. Right, sometimes the arrows don't really make a whole lot of sense, so okay. I'm just making sure I get everything in the right spot. Yeah, I'm just kind of one of those moods today. And now I'm starting to get all the rude comments. You know, especially I had blocked somebody last night. They were cussing me out on a video that I had filmed on here. It was a set review that I'd done about 2 to 3 years ago, and I thought, really, dude? It was over, I didn't know everything about the set or something like that. I thought, really? That was an easy block today? I thought, man, I was expecting something more, but well, this guy, I guess, wanted to get blocked on the holidays. You got me. I have a feeling, though, you know, because if I'm in a bad mood, I don't go on YouTube and do that, but some people do. Looks like that may go there. Yeah, it does. Yeah, well, we're getting there. Okay, now it looks like we're working on the other side here. You know, I just like to share my ideas with everyone. I don't ever intend for these to be kind of like rant sessions, but some people are just like, they grind my gears sometimes. I don't know what's going on. Of course, like I said, it is the holidays, so my Christmas is not that great without my dad around. You know, I forgot to do put this part here. I was like, what? But I don't come on YouTube and just, you know. So once I get all these videos edited, it won't be too bad. I'm probably going to do a small set after this. It depends on how much memory card is left, because I got to get going on this next batch of sets they sent me, and I just don't want to be hanging around on this one. I'm hoping to get this one done in a day or two and just kind of put it on display and kind of push it behind me, because I got other things I want to get going. And you know, nothing bad about big, large sets. It's like, okay, I'm still working on this project a week later. Okay, I'm still working on it. I can't wait to do the review on it. And by the time I get to the review, I'm just like, okay, I just got to deal with this for an hour. It does get kind of exhausting. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take this piece, attach it to the hinge first, and then I'm just going to swing that in there, which is what you're supposed to do. Yeah, I think what made this set really kind of a killer was the abundance of really small parts. I think that's what did this one in for me. I know there's going to be some that like the smaller parts, but it does get kind of annoying here. Okay, now it looks like we're focusing on the dark blue, so I have a feeling we're going to start doing the roof back here. Now, I just noticed there's a lot of parts that we're going to have to focus in. These, if you're making vehicles and stuff, will be your new best friend, or strengthening up buildings. So, hoard them up. And there's a 1x3 that goes here. Really want to get into that restaurant build, so I'm trying to do is more mock related stuff to it. I just haven't had a whole lot of free time. Really, with sets like this, there's not a whole lot of commentary with them because we're doing more structure build than we are with the. Sometimes, like those brick built animals, we can have a lot of fun with them. And this one's not bad. We're still at a 7 right now. We're getting close to a 6. It depends on how the build goes after this today. I don't know. Hold on. Okay, there's a 1x2 that goes in the back there. Oh yeah, my hands may get in the way. These videos are not to be construed as professional product reviews, how-tos, or tutorials. These are just merely my notes for review. So yeah, please be aware of that, and I have to read that every time. For those who've asked me why, yeah, if you're a long-time viewer, you know why. Boy, that doesn't look too good, does it? Oh, it looks better. Careful with that joint there. Finally got my network TV tuner and Wi-Fi and everything working in the house. I just got to make some shorter Ethernet wires so I can shorten up my runs a bit. It's doing my own Ethernet cords. It could be a hit or miss, because I need some custom sizes. We're talking about the patch cords, and you know, it's sometimes just easier to buy them, but I really right now with the holidays, I can't just deal with that right now. Yeah, I'm kind of still used to living by myself. Alright, so they want us to stick 2 plates on the bottom of this corner here. As I have a feeling the next 2 bags after this are going to have a lot of small parts. And this is just probably 2 or 3 layers of stuff, like bricks. Oh yeah, I do have my one of my gift boxes that I built a while back on Breakable. Somebody had asked if I had a building guide. I said, sure, just give me some time and I will have that posted for you. So I did just that. And I already had a few copies sell, which is really cool. Everything is cheap. I always sell my stuff cheap. Alright. And then now we're turning our attention here. Hold on. Okay, the gray one. Okay, it goes right on the outside of that. Okay, we got a mouse hole here. And how I know that is you get a piece of cheese. And that's printed. Isn't that cool? So that's where Jerry's hanging out at from Tom and Jerry. Yeah, the other day they had Black and White Friday on the Cartoon Channel. It was all the old black and white cartoons. A little older than I am, but well, back then cartoons were really violent. Not today anymore. They were showing something, I think, what was it? And these are mirrors, by the way. We're doing the sides here. They were showing, what was it, Paw Patrol Christmas or something like that. I saw that and I just thought, oh, I don't think so. I thought, no. But they sure won't show the old Peanuts cartoons or Garfield or anything like that anymore. They don't show any of those. I guess they're too involved. Now we got to stick these here, but I mostly enjoy the older stuff. It seems like there's more character in the acting than there is today. But now we got a lot of CGI and AI stuff. And then now we got to do the front part here. Now this bag's going to be a quickie, but it's going to take a lot more time after this. I've been here, I've only been doing this for about 15 minutes. It's not bad. I survived. Oh, before I forget, I always put the wrong parts, but this time it's these. And I forgot to put that in there. Almost messed that up, huh? And then this goes right here, like that. So your frame should look something like that. It's not bad. So we got the roof frame created here, and this is what we have remaining. Okay, now we're going to move on to bag 21. So we're going to do 3 for 1 today. Maybe I shouldn't have, huh? Because it means we're going to have a lot of small parts. Yeah. Some people say I sound kind of angry, ungrateful. Well, like I said, I grew up in an era where we had more small, or not small, we had more bigger pieces in our sets than kids today. And sometimes Lego needs to go back to basics and build more simpler stuff, because I sometimes prefer just a good old-fashioned classic build, just with basic pieces. I don't need any fancy custom stuff. Lego, you got to do away with this right here, 2/3 into the bag, because tearing this open and not having parts flying out all over the place is would be a nice treat to not have to see that. I sound kind of angry today, don't I? Okay, so now it looks like we're building up the side here. Hey, at least we're using something big. You know, I'm really surprised Lego has not made a round brick yet. I mean, we stack these on top of one another, but I'm surprised they have not made a round 1x2 brick yet. It'd be kind of a cool thing to do, but they haven't. Alright. Yeah, these are always cool to have for block glass for windows. I got a bunch of those already. And I thought that was a 1x4. You got to put a 1x3 here and a 1x1, which I can't seem to find. Oh, there it is. Yay, we got a lot of small parts, huh? Isn't that cool? Who doesn't like doing small stuff? I sure don't. Alright. Looks like we're building this up here again. So this is going to be the roof deck. Not too bad. I like doing the big pieces. You can see how fast we're going. Yeah, so after today, if I got some extra memory card space, I am going to do a smaller build from another set that I got. You'll see those eventually. I'll let you know when you see that video. Right now you won't see anything because I haven't filmed it yet. Alright. Yeah, hope everybody's Thanksgiving went well. Oh yeah, today is November 29th, 2025. Yeah, November 29th, 2025. It's Black Friday, and I will happily miss out on that. I don't like being around a lot of people, especially trying to fight to get over their big screen TVs and computers. Why, they can go in the middle of summer, or even when college starts. They can get that stuff just as bad as cheap. I'm not much to fight the crowds. I don't want to deal with it. Well, we'll need that, but... Oh, we don't need this big one. Still fighting this cold. It's just mostly a mucus buildup. It's what's causing me to have a scratchy throat. And that's what you're supposed to look like right there. So, I'm hoping not to edit this one out too much. I was doing one of them the other day, and well, today actually. Be another day for you. And boy, I had to keep editing out a whole bunch of stuff, so I try to keep it all under control. My asthma's been messed up. I don't know what's wrong. Got some window pieces here. Let's start pulling all these out. That looks pretty good. Trying to find... oh, they're 1x2s. I thought they were 2x2. Lego, now you could really... You make these pieces in 2x2 form. I understand that you're trying to save part lots, but really the small parts are kind of getting irritating here. Alright. Alright. What was I going to do? Let's pull out all the window frames right now. Let's set these over here. Now these are nice for slate roof. Put these in a pile over here. Reason why is I'm having a hard time trying to find parts that I need because I'm tripping over the pieces that I absolutely just can't use right now. I'm looking for a 2x2. There it is. But I am just, yeah, we were looking at places to stay, and we're like, well, let's not go camping, let's go stay in a cabin. So, that doesn't start any fights. We may just do just that for Christmas. I'm just trying to think of things that we normally don't do. Because it's something that's fun that we could put that we will actually have a memory of. We can look back on. Be kind of cool. Yeah. Hey, at least we haven't hit a lot of the small parts yet. So at least we're decluttering the workbench now. So far we're getting our rafters in here. I think that's what we're gonna label this one as rafters. It seems that's what I'm doing here. Is just doing a bunch of rafters. Yeah, I kind of jump around on topics in here, don't I? Yeah, I'm aware of it. My mind races too much. I have a busted toilet in the other room. It keeps wanting to keep flushing randomly. There we go. So I gotta... Yay, more chores for me. Alright. More rafters. Hey, at least we're consuming all the big stuff now. Let me put all this glass over here. Just need this one. And, I mean, this is not a bad set. I think the only thing that killed this set down mostly is going to be the small parts and the scratched pieces. It's a pretty interesting build, but that's probably the only drawback of that. Yeah, that goes right there. Okay. Trying to show you as much as I can here. Okay, now it looks like we are putting some roof slopes, and you got to be careful because some of these have 1x2 plates on the bottom and some of them have 1x2 or 1x1 plates on the top. So start with your 1x2 at the bottom there, and you got to make several of these. Let me start pulling these out right now. Let's put these over here. Alright, and then I'm just trying to find a 1x1 here. Let's put this big thing over there for right now. We're going to get there, I promise. It's just, right now we're getting to the small nitty-gritty stuff. I'm trying to find 1x1 plates, but there's one. So you got to do it, and you have to alternate. So it looks like we're building 2 of these and 3 of the other ones. So I'm just going to do it like this. And then it just kind of gives it more of a 3-dimensional look for the roof, which is not bad. Now we're getting to the dark blue. Hey, at least it's not white on the workbench where I have a hard time seeing the same color on here. So you got a nice little texture there. But as you can see, I'm hunting for more parts. And Lego, I wish you'd make this piece in a 4x6 size with the studs on the longer side. It would be nice. I have a tutorial that would have used one, but that didn't happen too much. Alright, we still got to do more, but these are a little different. So you put this one here without this, but you got to do that. So we must be locking something in here to lock it into the roof. Okay. Alright, let's get these 2x3s over here, 1x3s in that pile there. You can see now I'm starting to sort everything out by color and part type. Alright, now it looks like we're putting in a little window here with a clip. And need a plate on the bottom. Okay, just like that. That goes here. Can you see everything that I'm doing? Yeah. And the same thing here. So the next one we start with is a 1x2. And then we just kind of put regular ones in there. So the 1x2 goes there. Regular one. And then the 1x2 goes at the bottom and we put it there. That's what I refer to as a 1x2. Just helps me remember. I don't mess up. And I'll bet you behind we're going to be putting a little window in there. Yep, we're going to do the same thing there with a bunch of sub-steps along with it. So, okay, let's see here. I'm hoping to get this done because I got some other chores I got to get done around the house. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of free time like I used to anymore. There we go. Make another one of those, or you can make two of them at that point if you're building this. And then after that, we got to start with a 2. Okay, let's just do this. This is going to be kind of confusing here. The next one would be a 1, not a regular, but just a 1x1 on the top. Hey, it's dark blue. I mean, how often do we work with that color? Not a whole lot. Not for me, anyways. Okay. So we survived the roofing there. Okay. Okay, now it looks like we're going to be focusing our attention to these windows here. I had to clear my throat, so I had to do that. I didn't want to gross anybody out, so I, of course, edited that out. I got to see if this camera's got a pause button on it. It should. And we got to make 2 of these. This goes right up here. Okay, so it's like little shed dormer roofs. Let me well, we'll put the 1x1s here in their own pile because now I'm finding those. I need the other ones. So that's why they left it open like that. Get that in there. That's what it looks like so far. Nice little texture on that, huh? We're getting somewhere. I mean, we're moving along here. Now we want to focus our attention to the back portion of the roof here. And let's start with this again. Right there. And then a regular one goes here. And then we're building another window, but these don't have the clips on them. So, yeah, see, once you start going through about half your parts, it starts getting a little faster trying to find stuff up here. So if you're building something like this and you feel overwhelmed, think of it as this way. By the time you get halfway done, you can breeze through it. That kind of thing. So that's got the 1x2 there. And this one's going to have the 1x1. I'll guarantee you we have those spots open to strengthen up these rafters. Yeah, this is kind of like camping weather today. It's been foggy and cold. Even I'm all layered up with the thermal and all that stuff. It's that's how it is. All right. Now it looks like we put a regular one in here, and we're going to make another little window. Some people don't like the cold weather. Out here it's a treat. The summertime is when we try to avoid it. It gets too hot. So I try to avoid it as much as we can. There we go. I've looked at the other sets that I'm getting. They don't look all that bad. But until I can get this one behind me, you know, this one's going to be released first before the other ones. Okay. And another window. Okay, I found the white piece for that. There we go. But wait. Okay. Almost made a mistake here. The regular one goes first, and then the window goes in after that. And then we got to do our roof again. Okay, we only got 3 more of these. It's not bad. This bag here seems like it's going okay. It's about average. Well, I'm not ready for this one yet. I need to get the other one in there first. There we go. Like that. Okay, we're getting somewhere. And then after that, well, she makes it seem like we're almost to the end there, but we're not. We still got a long ways. We've got another day's worth of walking to do, maybe 2 days. And we got to make 3 of these brackets to hold all the roof stuff together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do, well, let's just do one at a time. They're pretty simple. Let's start sorting out the parts. These are almost like the other ones, they're just mirrored. And then stick these in here. So you've got our little shed dormers on top of these little windows here. Yeah, but I'm always thankful, though, you guys and gals take the time to watch these videos. Or some of you watch just for entertainment. Some watch to see if they're building the set correctly. And, yeah, never figured all that. That's why I try to show every angle as I can without blowing my budget. Just about done here with the little stuff. We still got some big pieces up here. A lot of medium, though. A few big pieces. Like this is considered big. That's big. Those over there are big. But we haven't got the whole thing done yet. So we're still doing something in here. Okay, now it looks like we're putting some gray pieces on the top here. Let's start with that 1x10. Oh, this one's going here. But I think this is some kind of like a sun deck or something. I'm not sure. Huh, I don't think I've seen that in dark gray. 1x5 plate. Someday we'll get lucky and Lego will bring out a 1x7 just to make us count the odd numbers. Oh, it's a round plate. What? Well, there it is. So far, yeah, that's what we've done. Well, it's starting to look like something. We're getting there. Okay, now we're using the blue ones now. Oh. Why is it? Oh, okay, we need a round piece. Oh, and there's a hinge in there too, so we've got to really pay attention here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, it's probably strong enough, but I'm going to hold underneath and just kind of pinch that in there real quick. And this round piece goes like that to kind of clear around that joint. It's starting to get some weight to it now. And we have a 1x2. I found the hinges. I'm going to leave these open because I keep thinking they're 2x2s. And, oh, there it is. And then we have some 1x3s. They go in these little notches. So, yeah, I was right. These are used to secure these rafters up a bit better. And then we have more supports. We got another hinge we got to put here. So this is really just, they're strengthening this thing out pretty good. Just be sure to pinch underneath it there. This tile goes around that. And there's some pretty odd colors in there. You think they'd use white or something in that. And there's a 1x8. I think goes there. Yeah. So we're really strengthening this thing up. Alright. And then now we're going to finish up the top portion here with this. The easiest way I would recommend for anybody who's getting into something like this is to sort out all the parts and these callouts right here. Pull all those out first, then start building. If you're not sure if you're doing things right or not, that's probably the safest way. I'm not doing it that way because I've been doing this for a while, like millions of years. But yeah, not too bad. And now it looks like we're crowning off the top here with some plates to kind of level everything off here. That's not too bad. I don't know how critical these are, but I'm not in the mood to really mess up today. And then a 1x2 here, and a 1x3. Oh, Lego, we don't have a 1x5 in that color? We should. I thought we did. Put those 1x8s in there, and then the 1x3 wraps this up. We still got windows. I don't know what we're doing with those yet, but we've already got this part here done. So what are we doing here? I don't know. I mean, we got that out of the way, so it's let's say it's leveled off, but not quite yet. Okay, now we're going to focus our attention here, and the windows are going to be onto this. So let's get going with this here. This looks like we're taking our hinges and putting them where the open spot is facing inside. Kind of a nice little thing there. Then we're going to attach the rocker bearing plate on the top. You're going to have to hear the snap, crackle, and pop on that one, huh? And then after that, we'll have to make some windows. We're almost done. And I only got 12 minutes on this card left. It keeps bouncing between 13 and 14. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe it's just finally turning around. Maybe it's got a rounding error. And now we got to make a bunch of these and put them together and stick them on like that. So I better, just like the other windows, are just going to fold inward a little bit. I've had one person comment and said they like my building guides better than the video tutorials because they can build things at their own speed. I said, yeah, eventually that's how it's going to be, where the tutorials are just more like a preview of the build. And honestly, at first I was like, oh, building guides, I mean, really, you know, I don't know, but I use my own building guides for building my own stuff now, so it's a good way for me to preserve it, and if I need to whoops. Yeah, be careful. I want to say some bad words. These should have been built first. We put them on there. But, yeah. And this goes on like that with the studs at the bottom. Well, how does that even fit in there? Alright, I think the easiest way to do it, I'm going to put my fingers right there and just hold this down like this and just push in with my thumb here. Yeah, I got it in. Okay. Alright, we survived that. Isn't that cool? Oh, you know, I forgot to put these on the front, so we'll put those on now. See, sometimes I forget. Probably somebody cussed me out over that already. Alright. And now we got to put the front window in. I like seeing it when we're almost got so many parts on the workbench. And hold on. So that goes at the bottom, like that. And then now we're going to be putting the plants in. One of these Friends flowers. Well, that flew off. Getting down to the really smallest possible parts we possibly can. Here's the deal. If you got arthritis, oh man, I feel sorry for you. I really do. I send my condolences, because I bet that's going to be a not so pleasant build. Okay, take this window off. I don't know what they were thinking. They should have put that on there and set the window inside like that. Lego, I think you got your steps backwards there. And then the window goes in. And then we swing everything forward here like this. But my window's in too far. Yeah, I got to take that out. Alright, I mean, I made a mistake, but and getting that out with a brick separator is impossible. Okay, what fell apart? I heard something disintegrate. Yeah, I'd love to say some bad words right now. I really would. You make a mistake in here, oh man, you're gonna be paying the price. You're gonna have to rip the whole thing apart just to make one correction. And we're not messing with small parts or big pieces. We're messing with nothing but. Okay, Lego, I'm going to give this a 6.5. I'm tired of dealing with that. I've had some pieces already fall off today, and that's getting kind of annoying. If anybody says it's a skill issue, get this, build it, and you tell me how much fun you're having with the small parts. Okay, now we swing these back in. That's not too bad. But that doesn't... Maybe because we haven't finished it yet. Okay, now we're doing the decorations on the front here. I've never seen this piece. It's like a set of handlebars, but it's... I thought maybe you can put air through it, like a pneumatic, one of those air tubes, but no. And then we take these little feather pieces. We'll set these right in there like that. That's just some more stuff that's going to fall off, but you got to make 2 of these. And they go right above the windows here, like that. Okay, well, I survived one. Let's see if I can do it again here. Yeah, I think it's the little pieces that are going to kill this one than the scratched parts. Scratched parts were just probably about half of that, and the other parts just things falling off and little parts. If anybody says, well, Jay, you give everything good scores. Not when they fall apart, I don't. Let's make sure here. Not too bad. And that's it for bag 21. I got 2 of these little feathers. Let me make sure here, because I'm running out of memory card like fast. Yeah, just use 4 feathers. Somebody just gave us a little extra there. That's not too bad. Yeah, I survived that much. Alright, we're going to wrap this up with 22, which is going to wrap the roof up. And while I'm unbagging this, I want to thank everyone on my Patreon and my YouTube channel members for taking the time to contribute, and your contributions is always a big help. In addition to my rebrickable customers. But most importantly, anyone who takes the time to like, comment, and subscribe on the videos and just want to start up a conversation, that's even better. There's another one of these feather pieces. So we're getting a lot of these here. There's another one from the last bag. It's hard to keep tabs of all this stuff. So it looks like we're going to have our... Oh my goodness, look at all the small parts there. And there's still some stuck in the bag. 1x1s and 1x2s. I'm getting to where I'm starting to get where I'm not too happy with this set. I think honestly about half of the parts in this are just small, just pieces that that Lego could have easily avoided. They could have stripped this thing down to about 2,500 parts, and the quality would still been the same. All right, so we're back to here again, and now we're going to be piecing together. Well, start with that. We got to start with the smallest stuff first. And we got the boring gray, but, you know, looking for a tile here, not that one. Could be in this one. Let me start pulling all these big pieces out here. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Jay, I don't think I can handle this set. Oh, you should be able to. If I can do it, I know you could do it. Alright, I'm looking for an angled wedge plate that fits in here now. Alright. Start pulling these out. Oh, there's different sizes? Yikes! Just to get to that. Oh my goodness. We're really filling that into pretty much nothing there. And I need to find a 1x12. There we go. Yeah, you can easily get lost on something this small here. You know, just this roof. You think it's a roof. You shouldn't be using a whole lot of small parts. This set we are. Alrighty. And now it looks like we're using some of the big pieces. Yay, I get to use the big stuff again. Oh yeah, this one's going to be kind of a challenge, so you may want to pinch that together a bit. Alright. Yeah, but the contributions are always a big help. Let's just keep all the wedge plates there. Alright. And see, if you don't, you just leave it like... Okay, I gotta be careful. These feather things are gonna be the death of me. I think these are supposed to fit inside this track piece. I think I'm gonna push them in there like that. Like that, I don't know. Yeah, so see right here, if you don't pinch together, your bricks will separate. You're going to have to pinch that. If you really want a good firm joint, you're going to have to do it. Alright, and then after that, we got to fill it in with a bunch of slope parts. Okay, this one goes right here. Pretty intricate, huh? See, I keep grabbing this and I keep wiggling these things around. This thing is not that user-friendly here to handle. I don't think I'm going to try to move this around too much. Let's pull this up here and I'll show you. I mean, yeah, that's pretty tight. These joints are a little bit open, like the book shows right there. But you know, we didn't mess up, which is really good. Alright, now it looks like we're going back over here. And we need a hinge and 2 plates. Let's do the 2 plates first, which are right here. They're perpendicular to one another. And now we got to find a hinge plate. Oh, there it is. At least Lego took the care to use hinge plates to secure all this, because now it's one big rigid piece. And yeah, you're going to have to do all that there too. Isn't that cool? So now we're back to the small stuff again. Now I got to get a nose cone. And we're going to need a bunch of 1x1s here too. Let me start pulling. Let's put the nose cones over here. Studs right here. Oh, they're hollow. Cool, I could use those. Yeah, I'm going to part this one out when I'm done displaying it. I'm just trying to grab whatever I can here. I hope I don't have to put any feathers in those. Okay, I'm looking for 1x2s. There's one. So it's usually Lego. You do make a plate that does this. I don't know why you just you didn't do that. It boggles my mind. You know, you can just stick all the 1x2s on here first. Would probably be better. You need 9 of them, so let's just do that and kind of lighten up the load here a bit. Well, that's got a hand on it. We don't need that. Skip every other one. Yeah, now you see why I kind of get tired of doing these big O sets. They just, this one's just, I think, and when I do the review, I'm going to just bluntly say it. Lego was, I think they were more interested in fluffing this up with the smallest possible parts that they can think of to make it like, wow, I'm getting 3,500 parts. Oh man, I really want this. And when they get the set, they're like, oh, it's all little stuff. Like, it looks big on the box, but why are we getting little pieces for? You know, like, okay, why did we use in this little part? Lego already makes one like this that has bigger pieces. Why don't we use those? All right, and now we've got to put some studs. Studs go on top of the 1x2s. They're kind of, you skip every other plate at this point. Matter of fact, don't put them on the 1x1 plates. You should be fine here. And I bet those handles are going to fit in there. I don't know, but yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah, I gotta go down and I gotta make an appointment to get a haircut before the holidays, before all the kids get out of school. Get that going, which that's a chore in itself. Okay, now we're going to turn our attention down to this side here, and it looks almost like it's the same thing. So we start, okay, you can't really see it very well in the book. It's kind of hidden behind that. But that's a 1x2 in there. So it's the same thing here. But while I'm here, I'm going to start just continue on sorting out parts. I think what we're going to do first is we're just going to stick all the 1x2s, and if I find any other sizes, then I'm thinking about just focusing on those first. So start with these first. And when I find the nose cones, I'll stick them in there and then stick the 1x1s in here. So when I find the parts, it won't be too bad. Yeah, I can't wait to see what this looks like all assembled. That don't go there, right there. So I may ask this as a question here if you're watching. I'll know if you're watching up to this point. Do you think this set has a lot of little pieces? Do you think it has a lot? You don't think it has enough, or do you think it has the right amount? Kind of really curious to see the comments on that one. Don't worry, folks, we'll get this done here eventually. Okay, now I'm looking for the last nose cone. Yeah, got that out of the way. Okay. And then after that, we're on step 528. 528, not a lot of steps. Alright, and then we got to put all the hollow studs in here, which is how many in total? 10 of them? Well, we got 20% of it done. First I got to pull out all the other parts that we don't need first. I can grab from my pile up there, but let's just get all the loose stuff out of here first. And then now I can grab, because I don't see any more here. But by the time we get halfway done with the bag, it's not too bad. I saw one that rolled around. Maybe it didn't. Oh, I see it. My luck, I don't have enough. And I don't think I have any of these in my stash. So up to this point, it should look like this. And yeah, now you got to stick those little handles inside the studs. And yeah, I kind of figured we were going to use that for some kind of a fencing, but I wasn't sure how we were going to do it. But before we do, let's stick this 1x4 in here first. Right in there. And these should just rest inside. This one would be easy to show. Just set that in there. You're going to have to wiggle these in a bit. Like that. Okay. So yeah, I've got to put a bunch of those in there. How many do we put in there? 10 of them? I mean, I should be able to survive that. You know, let's put this one here. We got to have some way to keep ourselves from falling off here. Just all these small parts, huh? You're really going to have to force those down in there. I was looking for something similar to this for another project, but they didn't make them at the time, or I just didn't, didn't have them, or I just wasn't aware of them. Didn't matter what color apart, but now since I have them, I'll probably have to experiment with a real life part then. Now I know that they exist. Ooh. This would make a nice little fence for the front of a house or the top of... You know what this would look good on here? A top of a brick wall. Like a little bit of like... If you get these in black, it'd look good for like wrought iron. And that completes the railing, I think. But I survived that. That's not bad. Okay, now it looks like we're building some kind of a dome roof here. So let's push this out of the way. Yeah, at least we're doing something here. That gray was getting to me a little bit. Alright. And after that, yay, more small parts. Cool. With the hand pieces, but at least this time I pulled the hand pieces out. Because we're trying to find those 1x1 plates. Now usually these they give you like 1 or 2 extras because they will break. I broke a few of the older ones. I don't think they will on this one though. How much memory card do I have left? 52 minutes, not bad. I'd like to get the review done in the next day or two, just to kind of blast through it. Alright. And now we got to cake it up with some blue plates now. I'm really surprised Lego has not made one of these that's plate formed. They have a brick one. They might already have it, I don't know, but I'd like to use those in plate form, although no, they have the hole on the side regardless. That's the only bad thing about curved pieces, you got those holes. You know, let's say this could be the bell tower, but I doubt it. We got that. Could be the bell. Remember back when we were in, well, some of you probably will remember. We used to have the bell in the school that would go ring before you were considered tardy. Now the schools, they just have that monotone beat noise that doesn't really mean anything. And they wonder why the kids are always tardy. I grew up in a school that you actually had bells, and then one had a foghorn. When they expanded the playground, it used to go honk, and you'd hear it. It sounded like a foghorn. Of course, that was back then before all the computer stuff took everything over. I remember in high school I would work on the bell system in the school. Because some of us guys who were in the tech stuff, we were allowed to do that. And they had, it was all mechanical. They didn't have any of the solid state like they do today. And you think of something like your sprinkler timer where you have to move the little pegs. That's how you did it. And later on they switched to more of a punch card type, that they would punch it in there and it would run across it and play it, and then when it made a contact, it would the bell would go off. So like if you had a foggy day schedule or something like that, they would just change out the cards and do that. Now with the advent of computers, they don't do that anymore. Now they just have everything planned on a calendar, so it's all automated. So now you don't have the administrators doing that. Alright, so we survived that. Okay, we got another piece that goes in the middle here. Kind of an intricate design, huh? Yeah, but you know, these were the days. I remember back when I was a kid, though, we had the foggy day schedules, and you got to put your trophies on there. And do I? Wait a minute. No, they don't go there. They go on the gold. My bad. I'm going down memory lane too much. But I'm kind of glad, though, I don't have to go to school anymore. Even college. Grad school. Yuck. You know, I mean, I don't know. I still don't know how I survived. But I did. I studied really hard. My bunch wants to get my nephew into college, but he has no desire to go. Sadly. Alright. And yeah, I think those go all the way down in there like that. I'm just going to assume that they do. I don't think the book shows this here. Yeah, they do go all the way down to the bottom. You can barely see the red down there. So, Push those all the way in. I think there's a bell tower on this, but okay, I'm missing one. Oh, there it is. Somebody was trying to hide it from me today, huh? It's one of you guys and gals who try to hide my parts. All right. And then this, oh, well, we already did it anyways. This is supposed to go in here now. Well, better late than never. So that's what that looks like. I'm really surprised they don't make those pieces that size of the 4-stud long ones. Alright, so far we got that going. Okay, now it looks like we're building the top portion of this. I'm just taking a stab at it. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh, I did. This is supposed to be gray in here. And this. So what do I do? Taking that out of there is going to be a turd. Let's say you made a mistake. How would you get that out? You may have to pop out something here to get to it. You may have to sacrifice something here. And then we're going to transplant that. Sometimes that happens, you know. I do make mistakes from time to time. Oh, by the way, I got to give a warning out, you know. And I do make mistakes, not intentionally. You know, I kind of just, you know, mess up, you know, here and there. But, you know, cussing me out, making fun of me because I make a mistake, or some have even gone as far as making fun of my vision impairment for it. That's not going to get you brownie points with me, obviously. Oh, well, transplanting this is not too bad. I think we could survive this. Well, some of them will come off, some of them won't. They come off in parts. Well, let's just transplant it. And I know some of you had said that you like the mistakes in these. It just shows you what happens if you make a mistake. How would you fix it? You know, which is also a good learning tool too. And then this goes right in the middle there like that. There we go. See, no harm done. I fixed it. Put that right back in there. That's my fault there. But I'll at least own up to my mistakes. Okay. So, now we're getting back to it. We got some wands. Let's separate these while we're here. And then this, we can discard this, which means not put it on the floor, because the vacuum will not like that too much. So, you know, no harm done. For those who cussed me out, shame on you. Alright. Okay, and then this goes here. And they show this thing here, not all the way down, but right about there. Okay, I see. Alright, then you put this on the top with the shafts and the notch here. Let me see if I can get it in frame for you like that. And I think you're going to have to rotate this. You may want to be a little, you know what, I'm shoving it all the way in because it's asking us to do that at the very end, but just stick it down in there a little bit, and I'm going to line these up with the holes here like that. Looks pretty good. And then now it wants us to shove that down in there like that. Just push that down in there. Alright, so that's that. Alright, and then the dome piece goes on the top. A little loose, but you know, what can you do? And they use this probably for a lightning rod. And no, we're not done yet. You know why? Because we got to stick these around the edges now. Let me like, Jay, you're getting a little crazy here, yeah? So it goes like that. And yeah, we're using a lot of these. So this is a lot of good inspiration for this type of piece. And to me, this would have been a junk part to me. But now seeing it be used in action here, yeah, this is probably a part that I can get. This would be a nice, good accessory piece, especially in gold. How many of those do we need? It says 6. Alright, so we're just going to put them on there, so we're skipping 2. I thought we had to go all the way around. Yeah, looks like I'm going to have enough room here for another Lego set, because I'm not going to build the next bag. I'm going to just take a breather. And yeah, that's what that is. It's got some weight to it. And then now we're going to put it on here, and it's only held with just that? Just the window? Oh, and that there too. So I'm assuming this goes like this with without the fencing on the sides. Not too bad, huh? Not too bad at all. Okay, now we're going to need to install it, but before we can, that's what we have remaining there for bag 22. And yeah, this has got a little bit of weight to it, but we survived. And then now we got to put that on top of the big thing. Let's do that real quick. Oh, I think we found our last minifigure, but we're not going to do him today. And get this back over here for you. This thing's starting to get pretty heavy, so don't worry, I'll zoom out for you here too. Bounce this thing back here for you. Okay, so this goes here, I think. Well, let me make sure here. Where does this go again? I thought we were working on this roof here. No, we were working on this side. I thought it was this. Oh, this was this. Well, okay now. It does fit in there. Let me bring this up higher. Lego in its skyscraper builds. So now we're going to have to lock all this down. I wouldn't press on these. I'm just going to grab right here above this window and just pop this in like that. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad on this side here. Yeah, we got a little bit of a problem here. You walk out here, you're going to fall down into the furniture shop thing. But let's set this up over here. We'll take a better look at it. And that's the tallest it's going to get. I think it's like 16, 17, maybe 18 inches. I'm sorry, my camera zoom is maxed out as it is. For what you can see here so far, though, hold on, this thing is really just kind of crooked, huh? You know, my sloppy rate reviews, but yeah. Okay, let's just take all the minifigures off. Let's redo it again. We still haven't quite finished the first floor yet. I don't know what goes here. The book will probably tell me. It's like maybe some kind of a fountain and a fire hydrant. They should have included that in there because this would have made a great collaborative build, but they didn't. So we'll just use that there. The stick to minifigures. I think they did that so you don't whack off the accessories at the end, which is understandable. So we're still got one more minifigure missing in action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, put somebody's hat down there. But you can tell it's got a lot of detail. I'm pretty happy with the final outcome. I'm just not really happy with the abundance amount of little pieces and the scratched pieces. It just, yeah. But once it's built, it looks pretty good. I mean, this would look good in a city. I mean, but imagine having this around your other modulars and stuff. But honestly, I'm satisfied with the look of it. Looks really good. But tell me what you think so far.